The last 100 articles published in Nature Geoscience. 1. Internal structure of ultralow-velocity zones consistent with origin from a basal magma ocean. 2. Jurassic greenhouse ice sheet fluctuations sensitive to atmospheric CO2 dynamics. 3. Poleward expansion of tropical cyclone latitudes in warming climates. 4. Publisher correction. Machine learning in Earth and environmental science requires education and research policy reforms. 5. Scientists from historically excluded groups face a hostile obstacle course. 6. Stormier mid-Holocene Southwest Indian Ocean due to poleward trending tropical cyclones. 7. Influence of biogenic emissions from boreal forests on aerosol cloud interactions. 8. Fire effects on the persistence of soil organic matter and long-term carbon storage. 9. Dynamics of the abrupt change in Pacific plate motion around 50 million years ago. 10. Author correction. An unshakable carbon budget for the Himalaya. 11. Tsunami size variability with rupture depth. 12. Methane matters. 13. Development of ice shelf estuaries promotes fractures and calving. 14. A salty deep ocean as a prerequisite for glacial termination. 15. Decolonizing geoscience requires more than equity and inclusion. 16. Machine learning in Earth and environmental science requires education and research policy reforms. 17. Biochar in climate change mitigation. 18. Late Ordovician climate change and extinctions driven by elevated volcanic nutrient supply. 19. The barriers of Venice. 20. Deformation-controlled long-period seismicity and low-cohesion volcanic sediments. 21. Interglacial Antarctic Southern Ocean climate decoupling due to moisture source area shifts. 22. Regulation of ionospheric plasma velocities by thermospheric winds. 23. Marsh resilience to sea level rise reduced by storm surge barriers in the Venice Lagoon. 24. Great Plains storm intensity since the last glacial controlled by spring surface warming. 25. Penultimate deglaciation Asian monsoon response to North Atlantic circulation collapse. 26. Author correction. Attribution of global lake systems change to anthropogenic forcing. 27. A poorly mixed mantle transition zone and its thermal state inferred from seismic waves. 28. Abrupt climate progress. 29. Sulfur evaporation in planetesimals. 30. Sulfur isotopic signature of Earth established by planetesimal volatile evaporation. 31. Nitrogen isotopic constraints on nutrient transport to the upper ocean. 32. Persistent orbital influence on millennial climate variability through the Pleistocene. 33. Vertical decoupling in late Ordovician anoxia due to reorganization of ocean circulation. 34. Direct astronomical influence on abrupt climate variability. 35. Carbon fate in lowland rivers. 36. Fluvial organic carbon cycling regulated by sediment transit time and mineral protection. 37. End Permian marine extinction due to temperature-driven nutrient recycling and euxenia. 38. Recent strengthening of snow and ice albedo feedback driven by Antarctic sea ice loss. 39. Amplified warming of extreme temperatures over tropical land. 40. Delayed and variable late Archean atmospheric oxidation due to high collision rates on Earth. 41. Attribution of global lake systems change to anthropogenic forcing. 42. Scaling through ocean carbon. 43. Winter isn't what it used to be. 44. Delving into deep time. 45. Minimizing trade-offs for sustainable irrigation. 46. Decreasing subseasonal temperature variability in the northern extratropics attributed to human influence. 47. Explosive or effusive style of volcanic eruption determined by magma storage conditions. 48. Shutdown of Southern Ocean convection controls long-term greenhouse gas-induced warming. 49. Sinking enhances the degradation of organic particles by marine bacteria.
50. Rapid and sensitive response of Greenland's groundwater system to ice sheet change. 51. Author correction. Rivers as the largest source of mercury to coastal oceans worldwide. 52. An unshakable carbon budget for the Himalaya. 53. Number 182W evidence for early moon formation. 54. Reply to Number 182W evidence for early moon formation. 55. Sensitivity of Holocene East Antarctic productivity to subdecadal variability set by sea ice. 56. Abrupt Common Era hydroclimate shifts drive West Greenland ice cap change. 57. Crafting cover letters. 58. Amazonian forest degradation must be incorporated into the COP26 agenda. 59. A further source of Tokyo earthquakes and Pacific Ocean tsunamis. 60. Temperature control on CO2 emissions from the weathering of sedimentary rocks. 61. Birth of a large volcanic edifice offshore Mayotte via lithosphere-scale dike intrusion. 62. Zonal wave 3 pattern in the southern hemisphere generated by tropical convection. 63. Emergence of southern hemisphere stratospheric circulation changes in response to ozone recovery. 64. Global chemical weathering dominated by continental arcs since the mid-Paleozoic. 65. Muted multidecadal climate variability in Central Europe during cold stadial periods. 66. Constraint on net primary productivity of the global ocean by argo-oxygen measurements. 67. Arctic Ocean stratification set by sea level and freshwater inputs since the last ice age. 68. Provenance matters. 69. Boosting geoscience data sharing in China. 70. Big potential for tiny droplets. 71. The role of sea spray in atmosphere-ocean gas exchange. 72. Oceanic transform fault seismicity and slip mode influenced by seawater infiltration. 73. Carbon concentration increases with depth of melting in Earth's upper mantle. 74. Eruptive activity of the Santorini volcano controlled by sea level rise and fall. 75. Eocene to Oligocene terrestrial southern hemisphere cooling caused by declining PCO2. 76. Transient ocean oxygenation at end Permian mass extinction onset shown by thallium isotopes. 77. Possible link between Earth's rotation rate and oxygenation. 78. Past abrupt changes, tipping points and cascading impacts in the Earth system. 79. Dry corridors opened by fire and low CO2 in Amazonian rainforest during the last glacial maximum. 80. Potential CO2 removal from enhanced weathering by ecosystem responses to powdered rock. 81. Dry corridors opened by fire and low CO2 in Amazonian rainforest during the last glacial maximum. 82. Potential CO2 removal from enhanced weathering by ecosystem responses to powdered rock. 83. Drivers of PM 2.5 air pollution deaths in China 2002 to 2017. 84. Rivers as the largest source of mercury to coastal oceans worldwide. 85. First-year graduate courses foster inclusion. 86. Disrupt and demystify the unwritten rules of graduate school. 87. The number and location of Jupiter's circumpolar cyclones explained by vorticity dynamics. 88. Author correction. Global dominance of tectonics over climate in shaping river longitudinal profiles. 89. Circulation-driven variability of Atlantic anthropogenic carbon transports and uptake. 90. A record of plume-induced plate rotation triggering subduction initiation. 91. Returning lands to nature. 92. Manage fire regimes, not fires. 93. Planting trees to combat drought. 94. Fire enhances forest degradation within forest edge zones in Africa. 95. Conservation slows down emission increase from a tropical peatland in Indonesia. 96. Empirical estimate of forestation-induced precipitation changes in Europe. 97. Rapid recycling of subducted sedimentary carbon revealed by Afghanistan carbonatite volcano. 98. Author correction. Large subglacial source of mercury from the southwestern margin of the Greenland ice sheet. 99. Lateral expansion of northern peatlands calls into question a 1055 GTC estimate of carbon storage. 100. J. E. Nichols and D. M. Petit reply.